Hello everybody, and welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Blake Farm. This map can be found over at FSUK, and there will be a link in the description below. This map is an American map because it is a representation of real life America. This map is based on a town between Vassar and Frankenmuth, not really sure how to pronounce that, Michigan. This map is as true life as possible. In fact, in the on the download page, there's a map screenshot of the main farm, and then there's a aerial photograph of the main farm, and the resemblance is very, very good, with probably just some differences as a result of the types of models and other things that are available within the game. The starting fields on the map, as the description says, are the fields that were owned by the map author's grandfather in real life. The farm to the north is also a farm that was owned by his grandfather, and that is owned by you in the game. And I have to say, this map has a little bit of sentiment in my own heart, simply because it seems to me that the map author had a very, very good relationship with his grandfather, and probably grew up working on the farm. And it's very similar to, I guess, my experiences growing up. So let's read a little bit more of the description. You start with 15 cows. There is hay, straw, and silage, and a decent amount of equipment at the start. There's a fermenting silo at the main farm. This map is chopped straw and seasons ready. In fact, it looks like this map has some level of a custom geo associated with it. Looks like it may be a tweak of the Midwest geo. There is a flat spot in the north area for putting down storage silos, like grain silos, and then there is a flat area over by all of the sell points where you can also put in placeables. So let's go ahead and jump on in. We're going to leave all the DLCs picked, and we're going to be, well, just for fun, we're going to drive around in this nice C10 pickup. We're not going to use that. And we're going to take some of these out that I'm just going to be testing for other purposes on different maps. That in, and let's go ahead and pull up the log. See, this map does have the vehicle water break. So what that means is any map water is not going to be fillable. We're going to have to fill at a water point, as opposed to getting free water out of a river or a pond. And you see, we do have round bales of hay, silage, and straw in the map. So here we are. Let's take a look at the PDA itself. So here is the PDA, and let's see, we got our standard crops here on the map. Let me go over here, and this is basically a real-life Google Earth image. These are real-life fields. Now, some of the field shapes, I believe, have probably been tweaked a little bit, just maybe for farm sim purposes. Because if we'll have to go look at the crops here, see how we've got a big square here and everything. Whereas with PDA, it does look like this may be one area, and this may have been a different area. It's hard to say. Maybe it was just harvested at a slightly different time, and therefore has slightly different colorations. Field 4 and Field 3 are, well, Field 4 is grass, as is Field 7. There is a little bit of grass over here at Field 11 also, and then there's a little bit of grass up here between a driveway that we're going to go check out in a little bit. We have one main sell point on the map to sell all of our crops. 2 sell points will accept potatoes. We have a custom sell point for sugar beets, and the sugar beet price is very, very low. We do not have sugar cane on the map. It is not a crop that is grown in Michigan. We have a sell point for wool, sell point for silage. Now, there is not a BGA on the map, but there is a dedicated sell point for silage. Then we also have a sell point for hay, straw, and grass, as well as pellets, hay pellets, and straw pellets if you have the straw harvest add-on. See, we start with a fair list of starting equipment. All of it is new and owned by you. Let's go ahead and take out a loan. You can buy up some animals. And speaking of animals, you start with no sheep, no pigs, but 15 cows. So we do start with some cows. And for those that are playing with seasons, we do start with a fair bit of hay, straw, and silage to start out with. If you do play with seasons, you do need to get some water and some silage, power food in there very, very soon before the end of your first day, or you may start losing some of your animals. And our silo has a capacity of 100,000 liters. Let's take a look at that starting equipment. We start with 3 tractors, the Hurleman, the New Holland 8340, and the Case 1455. So your horse tractors range from 88 to 145 horsepower. We have the front loader arms, a bucket, and a pallet fork. We got the Case 1660 harvester with the small, 4-row corn / soybean harvester. We have the small grain head, and then we have the forage harvester that goes on the front of a tractor. We got 2 Agriline dolly tippers, the standard small horse cultivator and coon plow. We got the Amazon row crop planter, as well as the Great Plains seeder. Got a large burrito fertilizer spreader, Amazon fertilized sprayer. We have a slurry spreader, manure spreader, the pull behind offset side mower, New Holland disc mine, a tedder, windrower, and the in-game bale trailer and round baler, pickup, water tank, animal trailer, and Silo King. Said there is nothing currently leased. We're going to go ahead and pick up our truck. We can drive around here in some resemblance of style. Let's go ahead and take a look at the main farm. Start here at the main farm, and here's our handy dandy pickup truck. Got our water trailer here right beside the water fill trigger. Is a above ground spigot with a hose attachment. A nice behind the house furnace here. And then our chickens. The chicken eggs are here in the chicken coop. In here and pick them up. And then some of our equipment is stored in here, nicely put away. Got lots of really nice decorations here, lots of posters and advertisements. Wonderful racks with all kinds of things here. Very much looks like an active farm shop. So we have our customize and repair trigger. Then you can see our list of equipment over here, our assortment of equipment. And something else I noticed when I was walking around the map is the crops are very photorealistic. These are obviously not standard Farm Sim 17 crop textures. All the way down to the, whatever this is. I always remembered corn had this weird spider leg texture, or spider leg thing going on at the bottom. You know, the exposed roots coming up out of the ground. Here we have our animal delivery trigger. Trying to buy or deliver more cows. And then we have our fermentation silo right here. This silo actually accepts grass, chaff, or straw. And then we've got our silage output over here. We have the typical American bank barn going on right here. And within the bank barn, we have our straw and our hay bales stored in here. These are all starting bales. These are 2 rows deep, so we got a fair bit of starting bales to go with. our bale trailer and our animal trailer. We have the farm fuel tank. And then we have our silage bales nicely placed here on the outside of this corn crib. And then we've got our 2 AgriLiner tippers parked underneath there. Here we've got our soybeans. Now these soybeans, maybe it's just the custom looking soybean plant, but the soybeans look like they are spaced out a bit further than they are typically planted in game. So I noticed that. That was an interesting and nice thing to see. There are pretty deep ditches here on the sides of the roads. Be very cautious here. Then we've got our wheat, and this map has some really tall wheat. I mean, we are walking up. This is like chin height here. Wheat. Typically, it seems like farm sim wheat is more like knee height. Go ahead and come around the side here. And here is where your slurry trigger is. Here is your silage trough and your cow dirt area. Straw trigger is actually inside here. You're going to need to come inside of here, come down around the back of the bank barn, and right here is your straw trigger. And then the water trough is this big old thing up here. A nice big deep water trough for our cows' water. And there isn't a manure pile. Let me look in the log, see if I can notice the kind of the script pop up that relates to. Yep, there's the animal husbandry manure stable script manure area. So you will need to muck out your own cows, probably over here, possibly under here also. So it's going to be a little. It's going to have to look and figure out where the cow manure is going to be spawning. But it does look like you're going to have to muck that out on your very own-some. Let's go ahead and take a look at the reset point. So the shop is over here. It's not going to be our... Clicking on... Let's just visit the shop. Here's our spawn point for new vehicles. Go ahead and hit reset and see where it goes. So reset point is back here at the main farm. Right here in front of our main vehicle shop. Alright, let's just take a... Overall, most of the map is fairly flat, but I suspect that is rather indicative of the area. I do like how we have power lines running around to all the different buildings. Head on down this way. Let me fix the sound here just a little bit. I don't want the truck drowning me out. The one thing that I did like about here is we've got nice rural areas. We do have utility poles running through some of these fields. And the field over here to our left is this is our grass texture. So the typical grass that you are typical seeing in Farm Sim is more akin to not really like this, but you know, it's kind of greenish. whereas the mowable grass on this map is this texture here, which is alfalfa. So that's really nice to see that we've got kind of the grass has been replaced with alfalfa texture as far as mowable grass. Anywhere you see this particular texture, you'll know that this is mowable grass. And once again, it is pretty tall. So you're going to get that's pretty typical of alfalfa growth before mowing. See, these utility poles do have collisions on them, so that is something to be aware and to avoid. Try to avoid hitting those when you're working most of the fields. The map ends right down there, so we're not going to go past that point. So field 4 is a big alfalfa / grass field that you can mow. This area over here, this vacant lot, is not a mowable area. In theory, you could probably put some placeable items down there if you wanted. We have field 3, which is that wheat field. Let's head on over here. You can see we can take out the mailboxes. Be the scourge of the community, just taking everyone's mailbox out. Oh, just plowing them down. Take out another one. So here we have mobile alfalfa on either side of this driveway. And in here we have the hay, straw, and grass sell point right here. We do have some static horses here. We have really nice decoration and attention to detail here. We've got a grass or hay bale in here in the feeding ring. We've got some other bales stored away in here in the horse pen. And lots of these houses are going to have petroleum gas, basically propane and other natural gas tanks associated with them. See, the house is connected to the power system here with the pole, so that's also nice to see that we don't have houses just randomly sitting out in here, not actually attached to utilities. Good sign of detail. Head on back over here. We're going up to the North Farm, which is the farm where some additional harvesting equipment can be located. Go ahead and check out the price for Field 7 while we're over here. Field 7 is 6.93 hectares, $112,000. No emissions because it is a grass field. All right, let's stop here and we'll check out fields. Check out this field. Field 10 is 13.76 hectares, $222,000, and it does have missions. Run up here and check out Field 8. Some of these fields are quite large. 6.11 hectares, $98,000. We do have missions, but I am apparently in the way. Something else to make note of is the The gap between the fields is fairly narrow, so when you're farming these, be careful that you don't extend too far out beyond the edge of the field, or you may get that you don't own this field message. Field 9 is 12.17 hectares, almost $200,000. Then here's field 5. This is one of the other fields that we own. And what the map author said is he was intentional in having a flat space down here, so that if you wanted to put in your own grain bins or grain silos, you'd be able to place them right here. Field 6 right here. This is the wheat field. This is another field that you own. Here we've got our case tractor, mower, and our harvester, and our 2 headers up here in this shed. Yeah, and be very careful about these ditches along the road. They will come up and grab you and suck you in, and you may just find yourself having to reset in order to get yourself clear of them. Ah, we'll just take out some more. Barely. Alright, so let's make our way on up here to the sheep farm. And before I go on anymore, let me call out this other great attention to detail. Lots of these houses have these little pedestals in the yard. These are awesome. These are basically splice points for buried telecommunications lines, buried phone lines. And basically you've got a pedestal here, comes up, the underground cable comes up, and you've got a splice for the house, and then the carrier cable keeps on running down the street to the next location. So this guy's got himself a mailbox, not off the road, but in his drive a little bit. Oh, let's back up. Nearly missed the road into the sheep farm. Got a very basic sheep farm, but there's a couple things I want to call out here. We've got this really great detail over here, which looks to be the foundation and the stone wall of what used to be a barn or some other related farm building here, but the wood part of the building is long gone away, and now we just have the stone foundation and base wall. Check out here, this is field, I guess, 11. 2.76 hectares, $44,000. So we have a very basic sheep area. We got a little shed here to store hay bales or any other equipment related to your sheep activities. Got the water trough, got the grass trough, and right here is where your wool pallets are going to spawn. Then around the corner here is the delivery buy trigger for your sheep. There. And there's the sheeps all wandering around. Alright, let's keep on keeping it on. Oh, we took out another mailbox. Here you see another pedestal. And here we have another pedestal. Here, now we cross the street. Now let's keep on going. Now one thing to note is that these high power lines, these do not have collisions. So you're not going to have to worry about hired help. And these, as you see, we're able to just drive right through them. But do note, you're not free and in the clear because this tree, oh, it does have a collision. It does indeed. Oh. So you will have problems with that little tree there. But that is in real life, in the map, or in the field. If you look here at the PDA, it's not quite lining up, I don't think. But pretty darn close. Zoom in here. There is the tree in real life. All right, let's head on over here to the pig farm. Pick out some more of our mailboxes here. And here we are at the pig farm. Now what I would like to have seen here is that some of these barns, that the doors opened. This barn door doesn't appear to open. It'd be really nice if it did. Oh, this one does. Oh my. Sorry about that. There's been some other barns I tried to get the doors to open on and it wasn't able to get them to open. A nice old corn crib here off to the side. Got our pig food trough. And inside we have our water trough, which kind of indicates that there needs to be a way to get in here and get the water. Got our straw trigger right there. It's where you're going to buy or deliver your pigs. And your slurry point. And your manure point. Now this may just be a manure storage. I don't know if the manure is really going to pile up there, or it may have to muck that out also. Pigs. Now, about the only thing that isn't probably real to life is the area down here to our left, which is where all of the sell points, or most of the sell points, are located. We go on up here to this farm, and this is where your farm silo is located. You may have been thinking up to this point, where am I going to store my crops? Well, it's up here. Up here we have fuel. We have another large vehicle shed storage, and there is a customize and repair trigger there on the other end. Here we have liquid fertilizer. Another nice big barn here to store things in. And I'm thinking this is a seed fill trigger. Then here we have our grain silo dump and our grain silo fill points. That's the, I guess, the arable area. Little door does open. as does the big door over there and the little door over there. Alright, we're going to conclude our tour down here at kind of the industrial complex. Based on the PDA, this appears to be the area that is not true to life. And basically, farm sim liberties have been taken to basically make the game playable. Like the farmer's market sign here every Saturday. Right, we gotta take out a mailbox. First thing we're gonna go is check out the animal dealer, which is also where the silage is sold. And there's also a silage bunker down here. We've got a nice vehicles, trucks entering roadway. Be cautious. Now, when I was exploring this map, I did get some frame drops going on when I was down here by all of this the cell areas. So that's just something to be aware of. It wasn't significant, but it was a little noticeable. We have the Husbandry Livestock Auction. We have another hay, straw, and grass cell trigger over here. This is our silage sell point. If you have excess silage, you can bring it over here and sell it. And speaking of silage, we have our one and only silage bunker on the map right here, where we can produce our silage, then just scoop it and take it right on up there for sale. What's interesting enough is I can't get up here, and there I go. I was having a hard time getting up there earlier. Here's our animal trigger. Alright. Let's head on over here. And this is where all the fun is going on. The Frankenmuth Agricultural Park, where we have Star of the West Milling, Better Made Special Snack Foods, Weiss Equipment, Pioneer Big Chief Michigan Sugar, and other available spaces. Head on over here, go through our weigh scale. See what our truck weighs. Here's the vehicle shop. We already know where the vehicles spawn, right here. We have our trigger there to do the shop trigger, if that's how you like to do things. And then we have our customize and repair and sell trigger right over here. Some nice decoration. This area, this building right here, just seems to just serve the purpose of decoration. I haven't quite figured out what its real purpose is at this point. Doesn't appear that we can actually get into it. Over here we have a solid fertilizer purchase point. This is where we can fill our fertilizer spreader. In fact, here is our fertilizer spreader positioned over here, right next to the fill trigger. We have seed and liquid fertilizer. This is probably just seed fill points over here. Purchase seed. And then we have liquid fertilizer right here. Fill up a liquid fertilizer sprayer, I should say. And here we have Star of the West. This is our one and only sell point for all of our crops. On in here and tip away. Let's make our way back here a little bit. And then over here we have a, this is the sugar beet. This is the sugar sell point. Come in here and we will dump our sugar beets here on the conveyor. And they'll come over here and just come into this giant pile. Got, I guess, blowers here to keep air flowing through them. We have a cultivator, or not a cultivator, but a conveyor here, loading them up into our Michigan sugar plant, I guess. Let's head on over here to Better Made Snacks. This is a potato sell point where you will tip your potatoes. And here is the other spaces available. So if you want to bring in some other type of placeable industry or just other placeable, here's another spot for it. Then around back, we have the Woollen Mill. This is where you sell your wool. And I have to say, this is a really nice sign. I like that. Your wool trigger is right here to sell your wool. And that, guys, is Blake Farm. Hope you liked the video and I hope you liked the map. Let me know in the comments what you think of both the video and the map itself. Again, this map can be found over at FSUK, and there is a link in the description below. So until next time, guys, happy farming.